Hello, internet friends. I am Sixy, and today I wanted to go over the tree boss in Algathar's Academy, Overgrown Ancient. I've personally struggled with this boss, but after implementing a strategy, not only am I consistently killing this boss, my friends employing this strategy have found some success as well. Just in case a new player stumbles across this video, I'd like to go over every ability so they know exactly how this boss works, and at the end we'll put it all together and show you the strat in action. Please consider subscribing to this channel. We are so close to getting monetized. And if you find yourself saying, hey, Sixy's videos really help me out a lot and you'd love to support me, you can do so by joining my Discord at discord.gg/the-6. You can hang out there for free. It's a very active Discord. Or you can subscribe for a few bucks and get access to a special channel where I will probably answer any questions about the game you might have and take suggestions on future videos. With that said, let's jump in. Now, once you engage Overgrown Ancient, the first ability this boss will cast in the encounter is Bark Breaker. This is a tank mechanic that hits pretty hard and increases all physical damage taken by 100% for 9 seconds. At the key levels I've been doing, this isn't too rough by itself, but come Tyrannical Week, and as the fight progresses, this ability definitely adds a level of scary to the fight. The next ability OA will cast is Germinate. For every player that is alive, a small brown swirly will spawn at the player's feet 4 times. If you stand in the swirly, you will take a moderate amount of damage and get knocked back. Once each swirly expires, regardless of if you are hit or not, a dormant hungry lasher will spawn. These are adds that are not physically attacking anyone yet and need to be DPS down. At 100 energy, the boss will cast an ability called Burst Forth. It deals AoE damage to every player and will make all dormant hungry lashers come to life and begin attacking players. Once alive, these lashers do have an aggro table and will melee the player who has threat. Each successful melee attack will have a chance to apply a poison called Lasher Toxin that deals nature damage every 3 seconds. Assuming the tank has most of the threat, the tank will quickly gain a large number of stacks, dealing massive amounts of nature damage. If your group has a poison dispel, this would be a great time to use it. Tanks also consider popping large CDs during this phase. Now for the last mechanics of this fight, before casting his second Germinate, Overgrown Ancient will cast a large brown swirly called Branch Out. If you stand in this, it will deal heavy damage and knock you back. You want to dodge this swirly. The swirly will then spawn a medium-sized tree that will attempt to heal the Overgrown Ancient. You can kick this heal and it will try to recast the heal about once every 8 seconds or so. When OA throws the branch, it will also apply a bleed to everyone in the group called Splinter Bark. It's a 60-second bleed that deals sizable damage every 3 seconds. This branch also deals melee damage that isn't insignificant. This can really ramp up tank damage with the increased bleed damage, the branch, and the boss after he casts his second Bark Breaker. Shortly after casting Branch Out, the boss will then cast his second Germinate, followed quickly by Burst Forth. All of the dormant lashers that are either still alive from the first Germinate and probably all of the dormant lashers from the second Germinate will then spawn out and start attacking. During this time, the group will still want to focus the Ancient Branch for a few reasons. The tank damage, the heal, and lastly, once the branch dies, it will leave behind a light teal circle that does healing to everything that is in it, both good guys and bad guys. But this circle will also clear any Splinter Bark bleed debuffs. If the tank can, they will want to try to position themselves inside the circle while keeping anything they currently have aggro on out. After that, the boss will do everything all over again in a cyclical manner. Now, it's one thing to understand what the abilities do, but it's another thing to put it all together. Let's start at the first Germinate. You and your group really want to have a tight stack. The closer together the dormant lashers are, the easier they are to cleave down. Melee AoE sometimes has a limited range, so you can definitely get a much cleaner AoE if you stack tight during Germinate and move together. When I watched the professional guilds kill Council and Castle Nathria, I was in awe of their movement. Getting something similar to this on Overgrown Ancient during Germinate is a great first step to having a clean kill. Once the branch comes out, you have 2 options. The first we discussed earlier, you focus it and kill it. With how things line up in this fight, this was creating a separate problem. The adds would die right as the third Germinate was coming out, meaning people needed to dodge little swirlies while also needing to stand in a relatively small circle. Since the Germinate damage isn't too crazy, you can probably eat a swirly and not die, but the knockback will make any additional Germinate spawn farther away, making it more difficult to clear the new set of dormant lashers, and the fight will start to spiral out of control. I think a more long-term strategy that you could employ, you could CC the Ancient Branch and save it for later, which I think might have to be the play at higher key levels or tyrannical keys. The idea behind this is that you can CC the add, wait for the second Germinate to come out, get a good quick clear on the uprooted lashers. Then when the third Germinate comes out, you break the tree CC and kill the first tree right as the second Branch Out is cast. You will then clear both bleed stacks at the same time. The downside to this plan is that your healer will likely need to be able to clear roughly 50k plus healing a second for 20 to 30 seconds, plus be able to keep the tank alive through their various problems. Now, this is a tough ask for a lot of healers, especially if you're in a lower experienced group. So the best bet for lower experienced groups might be to just kill the tree branch, and for highly coordinated groups, you might want to attempt the CC strategy. I want to note that I found a Reddit article discussing this boss, and Preservation Evokers actually have a way to clear up to 4 bleed debuffs from the team. This can be very useful if your group can fit a Preservation Evoker. It also has the added benefit of having a Poison Dispel. Anyways, play with it and see what works for you. Remember, this game is about having fun, enjoying the challenge and the climb. And I'll see you out there in those keys. Peace.